Russia launched an attack on neighboring Ukraine early Thursday. Ukraine's military said Russia began shelling Ukrainian forces in the country's east and carried out rocket strikes at airports in multiple cities across Ukraine. Ukraine's border guards also reported artillery attacks coming from Russia and from Belarus. Within hours of the missile attacks, Russian tanks rolled across Ukraine's borders from Russia, Belarus, and from Crimea, the Ukrainian peninsula Moscow annexed in 2014. Ukrainian officials said amphibious Russian forces landed near Odessa on the Black Sea. Intense rocket fire could also be heard in the eastern city of Kharkiv. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the operation in a televised address Thursday, claiming he was acting in response to threats from Ukraine. He said those who oppose Russia's actions will face consequences they have never seen. He said his goal was the demilitarization and denazification of Ukraine. The Russian president accused the United States and its allies of ignoring Russia's demands to prevent Ukraine from joining NATO and offer Moscow security guarantees. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has imposed martial law in Ukraine. In a televised address late Wednesday before the attacks began, President Zelensky said the people and government of Ukraine want peace, but he warned Russia that if Ukraine came under attack, you will see our faces, not our backs. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba echoed Zelensky's sentiments in a post on Twitter, saying Ukraine will defend itself and win. Kuleba also said the world can and must stop Putin. He laid out several actions the international community should take immediately, including expelling Moscow from the global banking system known as SWIFT, along with providing Ukraine with weapons and equipment, plus financial and humanitarian assistance. This is VOA News.
Уважаемые граждане России, дорогие друзья, сегодня вновь считаю необходимым вернуться к трагическим событиям, происходящим на Донбассе, и ключевым вопросам обеспечения безопасности самой России. Начну с того, о чем говорил в своем обращении от 21 февраля текущего года. Речь о том, что вызывает у нас особую озабоченность и тревогу. О тех фундаментальных угрозах, которые из года в год, шаг за шагом, грубо и бесцеремонно создаются безответственными политиками на Западе в отношении нашей страны. Имею в виду расширение блока НАТО на восток, приближение его военной инфраструктуры к российским границам. Помощи. В связи с этим, в соответствии со статьей 51 части 7 Устава ООН, санкции Совета Федерации России и во исполнение ратифицированных Федеральным собранием 22 февраля сего года договоров о дружбе и взаимопомощи с Донецкой Народной Республикой и Луганской Народной Республикой, мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции. И для этого мы будем стремиться к демилитаризации и денацификации Украины.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Good afternoon. The Russian military has begun a brutal assault on the people of Ukraine. Without provocation, without justification, without necessity. This is a premeditated attack. Vladimir Putin has been planning this for months, as we've been saying all along. He moved more than 175,000 troops, military equipment, and positions along the Ukrainian border. He moved blood supplies into position and built a field hospital, which tells you all you need to know about his intentions all along. He rejected every good faith effort the United States and our allies and partners made to address our mutual security concerns through dialogue to avoid needless conflict and avert human suffering. For weeks, we have been warning that this would happen. And now, it's unfolding largely as we predicted. In the past week, we've seen shelling increase in the Donbass, the region in eastern Ukraine controlled by Russian-backed separatists. The Russian government has perpetrated cyber attacks against Ukraine. We saw a staged political theater in Moscow, outlandish and baseless claims that Ukraine was about to invade and launch a war against Russia, that Ukraine was prepared to use chemical weapons, that Ukraine committed a genocide. Without any evidence, we saw a flagrant violation of international law in attempting to unilaterally create two new so-called republics on sovereign Ukrainian territory. And at the very moment that the United Nations Security Council was meeting to stand up for Ukraine's sovereignty, to stave off invasion, Putin declared his war. Within moments, missile strikes began to fall on historic cities across Ukraine. Then came the air raids, followed by tanks and troops rolling in. We've been transparent with the world. We've shared declassified evidence about Russia's plans and cyber attacks and false pretexts so that there could be no confusion or cover-up about what Putin was doing. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.